Oh, hello. Now, I was going to have a little word with you. Do you remember a few years back we had that really foggy Christmas? And it was thick, thick fog. Well, obviously, that's not normally a problem for us because Rudolph would guide the sleigh. But that particular Christmas, Rudolph had got really bad reindeer flu. Now, I don't know if you know reindeer flu. It's like man flu, but even worse. And Rudolph had it so bad, there was no way he could come up with us. When he gets a bad flu, his nose doesn't even glow. So, and I was saying to Mother Christmas, I was saying, what on earth do you think I should do tonight? Because it's so foggy. And she said, well, what did you used to do before we had Rudolph? But I pointed out it was a lot easier then because we didn't do anything like as many presents. So she suggested I go and have a word with the head elf, Gendrick. He's a bit of a scientist. So I went and I saw Gendrick and I said to him, what can we do? No Rudolph tonight. And he said, well, we are developing a special thing that you could use the prototype. It's not the production model, but it should be reliable. And I said, well, what's that then? And he said, it's the guided utility system. And I said, what? And he said, Father Christmas, you can just call it GUS. And he called one of the other elves and he wheeled over this great huge thing about the size of a cabin trunk and said, this is GUS. And I said, looks a bit cumbersome. And he said, well, it is the prototype. Once it's in production, it will be a lot smaller. It might be the size of a suitcase or even a briefcase, but it will be much smaller. I said, but it's got great utility. And I said, well, what can it do for me? And he said, well, GUS is all sorts of things, whatever you need. It can tell stories, it can, but what you will find it useful for tonight is you've got this built-in speaker and it can use a sonar beam and it will send out sonar and it will come back and you can hear the ping through the echolocation on the speaker and it will help you know exactly where you are all the time tonight so that you can take the presents where they need to go. And I said, well, that sounds like a good idea. We'll have to give it a go. And so then he showed me and Blitzen how we should use it. It's actually very straightforward. When it came time to take off and take the presents, I realised the great big size of this thing, I was going to have to take a trailer with some of the presents on just to make space to fit it in my sleigh. So that's what we did. And I tell you what, it was amazing. Gus is so smart. He always was pinging at the right time and telling us which way to go. And I tell you, we actually made the deliveries quicker than we do normally. I know, it's amazing. So we took a leisurely flight home, and all the way, Gus was regaling me with stories, and we were chatting, and he was telling me stories about other Christmases, things I'd forgotten. I got home and I said to Mother Christmas, he is brilliant. Everyone should have one. And I tell you what, I was really glad that next year I took him with me. I didn't need it because it wasn't even foggy, but I took Gus with me, but it was the new model Gus. And he was just like a little suitcase and left plenty of space in the sleigh for all the presents. So I thoroughly recommend Gus to anyone at all. Okay, Father Christmas, over and out. Bye then.